This man pops up at Brooke house like a stalker, like, hey, what's going on, neighbor? Can I have a cup of brown sugar?
We need to talk face to face, or I'm gonna be dead.
I'm not going to break up.
No. No.
I'm not going to break up.
No.
Hey, what's up, In Treatment guys? Okay, we're in yet another session of HBO's In Treatment, starring my girl, Aduba, and we are on episode 5 of Colin and Eladio. Well, I guess I need to do it in the right order. Eladio and Colin.
Yes, put Eladio first.
So here we go. Let's just quickly jump right into it. I know this is going to sound strange for you guys. This was my favorite episode with Eladio. Why, you may ask? It's because we find the fullness of his crazy. This man pops up at Brooke house like a stalker, like, hey, what's going on, neighbor? Can I have a cup of brown sugar?
We need to talk face to face, or I'm gonna be dead.
That's the way he comes in there. And then he walks into Brooke house like he's casing the joint. I mean, he's just looking at, oh, look at your degrees, look at your artwork. Oh man, you living fat, all of these different type of things. And then the craziness begins.
He's not crazy, he just has some challenges.
Okay, well, the challenges begin.
Mm-hmm.
And here are the challenges. He leaves the DeMarcos.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the blue. He gets butt naked in the pool, bucket naked in the pool. And then he leaves them high and dry. So he got wet and then left them high and dry. So he goes out there and he basically feels like he has a different connection with Brooke. He think it's beyond therapy, and he's actually right. I would say in this episode, what makes it good is I think we finally see some clarity with Eladio being able to see exactly the impact that he's having on Brooke. And I think he kind of likes her being in that situation. I mean, she basically just broke the whole therapy mold and said, like, you keep blankety blanking my words. And you guys know what blankety blank, so I'm not trying to get banned on YouTube. But, she talks about, she gets upset primarily because Eladio's right. He was like, you have broken all the rules for me. And you accept all my calls, all kinds of night. She even hugged Eladio.
Yeah, I thought that was much.
And so I think if we find what Eladio is all about, he is a person that likes to push people past their boundaries, and it's just a marker of his of what he feels love is. And when Brooke is like, hey, I can't work with you because I have breached all the things, he's like, no, you're perfect for me now. So that's my take on Eladio. I just feel like we find out what he is, the master manipulator who has once again just gotten what he wants by having Brooke to do that. I actually thought he was going to try to move into the house personally, but I'm going to go ahead and, go ahead and step back and let Dr. K talk about this. Oh, and remember, click and subscribe. Okay, go right ahead.
I guess my issue with you is, yes, he manipulates, but that's the nature of his psychosis. I feel like you blame him for something he can't help. If people with mental illness have challenges, like you wouldn't blame somebody with a physical disability. And you'd be like, well, just stop with your numbers being that high and stop being disabled and stop being able to walk and stop being, like you would.
If he keeps pushing himself off a flight of steps, I would keep blaming him. Yeah. He pushes himself off a flight of steps. But go right ahead.
Well, he needs help. He needs help, and all of these behaviors are cries for help. But I feel like you're angry with him because he needs help, and he doesn't know. I mean, he gets what he wants. He gets what he needs. He thinks in the moment, But I think that's the nature of what his challenge is. So that's all I'm saying to you. I'm not saying he doesn't have any issues, but I think the nature of his problems will draw that out of people. And Brooke, she was just open for it. She was open for it because she was vulnerable, but that doesn't, I don't fault him for being susceptible to that, because that's the nature of who he is, and she was just open to it. I think it was just a bad mix, which is why she's like, now you have to go, because now this relationship is harming you. It's not helping you, so you need to go on and move on. But I'm not mad at Eladio. I still like Eladio because I think he's complex.
I think he just turned into a stalker.
Well, that's the nature of his challenges.
She just told you, it's not you, it's me. Let's break this up. And he's like, no. I'm not going to break up.
No.
I'm not going to break up.
No. He's like, you're good, you're great, you're flawed, I'm flawed, let's do this thing together. But that's the nature of his thinking. But I don't know why that makes you so angry though. But anyway, that's the nature of who he is.
Moving on to Colin, my boy. Once again, I think with the this week,
who shows up also, like a stalker.
Yeah, you know what, and I was about to say that. I think he definitely showed up like a stalker. I do not believe he had to use the bathroom.
No, nor had he called an Uber.
He was very disrespectful to Adam. He's lucky he did. I think he wanted another pineapple situation where Adam would pummel him so he could do that, because he seems like either he wants you to really like him or beat the hell out of him. And I think that's just the nature of him. But I would probably
similar to Eladio, he wants to evoke something from you. But go on.
Okay.
But you love Colin, but not Eladio. But go on.
Okay. But I'm going to tell you, wow. Brooke, I normally don't believe in her drinking with therapy. But this one, she let Colin have it. She said, she's basically saying, you're a white dude that grew up with privilege. And, and I want to point out something. Privilege is not just the idea that you well off. It means that you just don't suffer the mistreatments that most people. Some people feel like this whole idea of privilege means I have something better than you. No, you could be poor. It's poor whites, poor blacks, poor Hispanics, and that sort of thing. Privilege means that you just don't get the special mistreatment. Like, I'm less likely to suffer from sexism being a man versus you. And that's my male privilege. And I think with Colin, she was trying to get him to understand that all you have to do is live your life, and you don't have to face a lot of the social injustices. You have money. You're a white male. You're in the tech field. You're white collar.
Heterosexual.
You're heterosexual. Just live life. That's what she's trying to get Colin to do. But I think Colin wants struggle. I think he's searching for a struggle. And I think he wants to schizophrenically have this sort of rags to riches story when he doesn't really have one. His parents grew up in a commune. They blew up off of selling granolas. He's independently wealthy.
He doesn't want this boring white sex.
You just do basic Caucasian sex, and it's just bam, bam, done. That's it.
That's what it reminds me of. From Married at First Sight. That's what it reminds me of. What is it? Caucasian sex? Or
right.
That's what it reminds me of.
But I just don't understand. You know what the thing is? Unless it's showing that this whole idea of the quote-unquote American dream means nothing if you're not living in your purpose. Now that may very well be what it is with Colin. He hasn't found his purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think,
yeah,
I guess the idea too that privilege doesn't bring you peace either.
yeah.
You know, and so you can be, you know, living off people. Like Eladio literally has nowhere to go. He's going to stay with, you know, his ex-employee's daughter. You know, he's just kind of from pillar to post moving around. He has no peace, but Colin doesn't either. And you would think you got literally the world at your fingertips and you're still unhappy.
I think it goes to tell, I think the show is trying to show us that we have to go through the introspective knowledge of self. Mm-hmm. We have to discover our own truth. Mm-hmm. And, you know, in the second video, the part 2 that we're going to do, those next 2 episodes mm-hmm. with Layla and Brooke is really a step into the introspective.
All about identity development, who you are, what your purpose is, what value you have in the world. Yeah.
So with that being said, I look forward to breaking down week 6 next week with you. This will be the last one. So, hey guys, think of another show that we could, that you want our analysis on. You have an English professor and you have a
psychologist.
So hit us up with ideas of what we could do next.